flyweight prospect, Gillian Robertson. Thank you so much for joining me on this lovely morning. How is your life in Florida right now?
It's going good, a little bit different all through quarantine and everything, but I've still been getting my work in, still just been trying to stay busy and get myself ready, and I was when I got the call a couple of weeks ago, so now next week I'm ready to get my hand raised.
I wanted to start with Din Thomas because he left American Top Team earlier this year and kind of went on his own. Was that something that you were ready for, or was that a kind of a shock for you also?
I guess it's something that I kind of expected just over the years working with him. I know just he wants to do his own thing, kind of. He wants to be his own boss, and now he's able to do that. He's able to work with the fighters he wants to work with, and he's able to develop fighters. So I guess I kind of expected over the last couple of years, but it was definitely still a little bit of a shock when it actually happened.
How has that affected you personally?
Well, I'm no longer with ATT anymore either, so I'm just working with Dean Thomas and a couple other gyms around the area, like RT Jensen Beach. There's Gamblers Jiu-Jitsu. One of my friends, Dan Donaldson, has opened up his garage to me this whole quarantine. So no matter what, I've still been training twice a day every day and getting good work with good training partners. Just a different scenario.
A different scenario for everybody around the world, especially the fighters getting ready. You said the garage. How has the workouts been inside of a garage instead of being on these large, wide open mats in the gym?
I feel like my weight's never been lower just because I've been sweating so much training in like 100-degree weather in Florida in a garage. And it's like you're working out in a sauna. So it's like I've been able to keep my weight really low, which is going to make this cut really easy next week. And it's like you said, it's a different experience, but no matter what, I'm still getting to work, and I honestly feel like I've gotten better in these last few months than I ever did before, just because I've gotten so much one-on-one time with Dean Thomas.
Yeah, I think that a lot of fighters have been experiencing that, like that personalized attention, but for you it's like double because you leave your gym that you had, and now you have your coach, Dean Thomas, that was working with so many fighters in the past, but now it's narrowed down to how many fighters does he have? Not that many, right?
It's just a handful of us that he's working with at the moment, and like you said, it's really just narrowed it down. Where when he works with ATT, I would literally just get my coach for camp. So I feel like when I was out of camp, when I should have been improving, I wasn't really improving. I was just like going through the motions and training every day. And then when we were in camp, it was really dialed down on it. But now it's like I'm getting that training year round. So I'm just seeing myself excel.
Definitely. I've been watching, your Instagram like most people do, and it looks like you've been focusing on your striking, particularly your boxing throughout the last few months. Where have you been sharpening your skill set at?
Dia Davis has been helping me a lot with my boxing, and then Dean, of course. Dean is all-around MMA coach, so we work on everything. We work on striking, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and putting it all together.
What particularly have you been improving on, you think, the most? Is it your jab, your footwork? What exactly do you feel like you have been improving on?
I feel like for the longest time, my biggest problem was just keeping my feet with me. I'd always be out of position, like just pushing off my feet. It's like it's the littlest things. But now that I'm more aware of that, and I'm getting better at doing that, it's like it's changing my whole game because it's changing my shots now because my feet are always in the right position to shoot wrestling wise. So it's just like as a mixed martial artist, it's really just changed everything for me.
Do you feel more of a snap to your punches? Because I feel like having your feet underneath you would make you more powerful, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's just I'm set to defend. I'm set for the next punch now. It's not like I'm leaning into it, and I feel like that was always a problem for me in the past.
Seems like you're flowing really well with the mitt work that you've been putting in.
I'm trying my hardest. I keep on telling all my friends I'm a striker now, so hopefully I'll be able to show some of that.
Yeah, well, if you make your striking to a certain level where people are more worried about your striking, then they forget about your ground, and then you can show your ground again, right?
Oh yeah, I'm hoping that I can make girls shoot on me. That's the ideal goal, is that I want to make these girls not want to stand with me to the point that they do shoot on me, because I think I've only had like one girl shoot on me ever in a fight, and so it's like nobody ever wants to go to the ground with me. So it'd be nice for it to be a little change of pace there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I see that happening, as you raise up the ranks and you run into different types of fighters. I mean, it's just bound to happen someday. Now let's go back to your last fight in October against Macy Barber. There was a lot of hype built around the fight. Trash talk a little bit here and there. Do you feel like any of that really kind of got into your head a little bit?
No, I don't think any of that necessarily got into my head. I just feel like she caught me, and then I wasn't quick enough to come back. Like, I feel like I was there at like I was mentally there at the end. Like the ref felt like it was time to stop it, and I was taking too many punches, and I understand that 100%. But because she did catch me, but I felt like I took too long to come back, and I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
After that fight, what did Dean say to you? What was his reaction to the stoppage?
Literally the second we walked down the steps, like the second we walked out of the cage, all he said to me is like, "It's over. It's over. Like, just get over it. Like, we need to get on to the next one already." And that's all we've been thinking about since then.
All right. So was it easy for you to move on that quickly, or did it take a couple of weeks or a month or so to kind of get that out of your head?
I think as a fighter, it's easy to move on. Like, I got over it, and I was like, all right, it's over. And then it's just everybody that you see for the next 2 months is like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, you try to have short-term memory, but it's literally brought up to you every single day. So it's like, just seeing people, I feel like, is one of the hardest parts, is because you don't even want to think about it, and that's all they want to talk about.
It's kind of like doing an interview over and over and over again with the same questions, right?
Oh yeah, and it's everybody you see. So it's like the after I lost that time, I don't think I left my house for like the next week just because I didn't want to see people. It was like I just didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to talk to people just because I knew that's all that it was going to be about.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. I think if I was in your position, I'd probably lock myself in there for like a month. I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. Now you got your fight coming up. You got the switch to Cortney Casey, I believe, around 3 weeks ago. And has that really affected anything in your training camp?
Not necessarily. Like whenever I signed the Talia Santos fight, I got it like 4 months out, and then the coronavirus happened. So it was like, whenever that happened, I assumed that wasn't going to happen. It was a Brazilian opponent in Canada, so it was like two things that just didn't seem very possible at the time. And so we were never really like set on me fighting Talia Santos. We were just getting me ready, just like training and making me better. So then we were ready for whatever name came, and I was really happy that I got Cortney Casey. I feel like she's a great matchup for me.
She's a much more well known name in the promotion, and she has a lot of experience. So a win over her is potentially big in the division. You describe her as a perfect matchup for you. What exactly about her are you makes you so confident heading into this fight?
Just from what I've watched of her previous fights, she doesn't have great wrestling necessarily, which it brings you down to my world. No matter what, I'm confident once I get on the ground. Like, I know she has a couple good arm bars off her back, but I'm aware of that, and I'm not going to get caught in something like that. So I'm just happy that I'll be able to display a lot of ground and pound that I've been working on, and hopefully get a submission.
That's the plan, right? But I see the boxing is in effect, and Casey, if you watch some of her fights, she likes to stand and trade from time to time. That's something that is probably excites you a little bit more about the matchup, right?
Oh yeah, I'm more comfortable on my feet than I ever have been before. So to be able to go in there with a good boxer like her, she's really long and rangy, so I'll be able to get in and just really work my head movement and work a lot of footwork and things. We've just been working everything, really. My striking, I feel like, is just starting to come all together for me.
During this time of quarantine, it really looks like Florida hasn't been in quarantine too much. They're the first ones opened up. They're the first ones to have a sporting events. Was there anything that really affected you in your day to day under quarantine?
Well, I was training with ATT at the beginning of quarantine, so it's like them closing was definitely a struggle at first. But then Dean's really taken care of me these last couple months. Like, we've been working together twice a day, every single day, like an hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half at night, or more than that. And I've just been getting a lot of one-on-one time. So it's like everything has changed, but it's still been working, and we've still been making sure that I'm ready.
What type of performance do you expect out of yourself in this upcoming fight against Casey?
I'm just like, I guess if I can just perform to my best ability, then I'm happy. Like no matter what, it's like win or lose. If I go out there and I perform, I'm happy. So I'm just hoping that I'll be able to do that and display my abilities to the best, to my best capability. And yeah, just I want to show that I'm an MMA fighter. I'm not just a jiu-jitsu girl.
Just this past weekend, Cynthia Calvillo defeated Jessica Ai by unanimous decision. Ai is ranked #1, and Cynthia took her out. Do you think Calvillo just earned a title shot?
I think she is gonna get it. I don't think she earned it, but I think she's gonna get it. I guess I'm already sour about that. Like I fought Cynthia when I was like before we were both in the UFC, and I took the fight on 5 days notice, and we ended up going to a decision. So it was like, I guess that's one loss I've always been salty about because I'm like, all right, whatever. I took a short notice, and she's a tough girl, obviously, but ever since she's gotten in the UFC, she's just been put on a pedestal. Like they've just treated her so good. So I guess it's just like a jealousy thing now that we're like, she's gotten the easiest matchups. She's missed weight twice, and then gets a main event spot, and it's like against the #1 girl coming up in our division. So it's like it's just yeah, she gets a lot of special treatment, and yeah, I don't know if she necessarily deserves a title shot, but I feel like she's gonna get it.
Well, I guess when you heard that she was going up to flyweight, you're pretty excited then because of your previous history.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for that rematch. Like like I said, we went to a close decision, and I took it on 5 days notice. I'm like, if I had a full camp, then if she's getting the title shot, then I deserve it too. And I don't think I'm anywhere near that level yet.
So we could possibly be hearing a Cynthia Calvillo call out in the future eventually, right?
Possibly, yeah. I'm not usually one to call someone out, but I'm down with whoever the UFC matches me up with, and if it's her, then I'm more than happy to do that.